Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to give you an overview of machine learning, some fundamental concepts, its common types, the workflow for machine learning project, and some other key terminologies. Broadly, machine learning is categorized into three main types: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning, although some recent developments in generative machine learning can combine concepts for some or all of these mentioned categories. Since machine learning algorithms learn from data, based on how this data is presented to the algorithm determines which type of machine learning you are looking into. Supervised learning involves labeled data where the model learns from input-output pairs. The input-output pairs can be considered like question-answers, and the job of the model during training is to learn the mapping between these question-answer pairs. Once the model is trained, you can then ask it a question and the model will predict its answer. Within supervised learning, there are two primary tasks: regression and classification. In regression, the model learns to predict a continuous output variable, such as house price. In classification, the goal is to categorize inputs into predefined classes. For instance, in image classification, the input is an image and the output is a label such as a cat or dog. Unsupervised learning, on the other hand, deals with unlabeled data. The goal is to find hidden patterns or structures within the data. In unsupervised learning, the common tasks include clustering, where similar data points are grouped together, such as given a bunch of images, finding groups of similar looking images amongst them, and then creating a cluster of it. Other tasks that can be addressed using unsupervised learning include dimensionality reduction, where the dimensional complexity of data is reduced by projecting them into a subspace with reduced number of dimensions. The use case is when we have a dataset with a huge feature set and not all of them are important. We can reduce the feature set using dimensionality reduction. Reinforcement learning works differently than the first two. Here the learning takes place as a result of interaction between an agent and an environment. The agent performs actions in the environment and receives a positive or negative reward based on those actions, and thus learns over time to produce the desired behavior. Let's now talk about a typical workflow of a machine learning project. While this workflow can surely change based on the specifications of the project, the overall process more or less stays the same. The workflow begins with the data itself. Here we address questions such as how to ingest the data, whether from a live stream or database. The next step then involves exploratory data analysis, or EDA for short. Here different visualizations are used to gain insights into the data. This might reveal data inconsistencies such as missing entries, outliers, amongst others. The next step is then pre-processing, which aims to remove the inconsistencies in the data and bring it into the shape and format that is expected by the learning algorithm. This can also include feature extraction and selection. Once the data is ready, next step is then to design the model of the learning algorithm. This includes hyperparameter settings, choice of loss functions, optimizers, etc. This is then followed by model training and its performance evaluation. Once satisfied from the performance of the model, the final step is then model deployment, where it is used for practical purpose. The model is monitored and maintained after its deployment. Let's now shift our discussion towards the machine learning models. These can be divided into two main types: traditional learning algorithms and deep learning algorithms. Traditional learning algorithms include algorithms such as support vector machines, decision trees, random forests, and XGBoost. These algorithms excel in structured data and are often interpretable. They require less data and are also computationally not very expensive. Handcrafted feature extraction is often used with these algorithms to enhance their performance. They, however, struggle with scenarios involving complex patterns and unstructured data, thus limiting their applicability in domains such as computer vision. Deep learning algorithms are based on artificial neural networks, which are inspired by the biological neural networks. These include algorithms such as multilayer perceptrons, often called the fully connected layers, convolutional neural networks, recurrent neural networks, and more recently, the transformers. Deep learning algorithms excel at automatic feature extraction from raw data, making them incredibly powerful in areas such as computer vision, natural language processing, time series analysis, and others. They can handle large-scale unstructured data and often achieve state-of-the-art performance on many tasks. These algorithms, however, are very data and compute hungry, and they are also very challenging when it comes to interpretation. This gives rise to concerns such as transparency in their decision-making. Let's finally talk about some commonly used tools and frameworks. Python is the go-to language when it comes to machine learning programming. One of the popular and older packages used is the scikit-learn. It includes implementation of almost all the traditional learning algorithms. Alongside that, it also includes tools for data preprocessing. On the other hand, for deep learning algorithms implementation, two popular frameworks include TensorFlow from Google and PyTorch for Meta. TensorFlow is more popular in production-level machine learning. It has a wider ecosystem and has tools for deployment, including tools for web and mobile apps. PyTorch, on the other hand, is more popular in the research community due to its in-depth customization abilities. And that's all. I hope this truly has provided you with a good mental map regarding machine learning. Thank you.